Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun. I welcome you to this video. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more on various little topics that happened at this recent Nintendo Direct on April 1st, last week. I'm going to slowly but surely go over maybe more topics, but today I'm going to leave it to two different videos on the two different Fire Emblem related showings that they had at the Direct. I'm going to start off with the more controversial Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem, and then I'm going to do a video on the new Fire Emblem If trailer. So let's get started with the more controversial one. Now, basically at the Direct, they did fully show off the new Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem crossover game that they were working on, that Nintendo was working on with Atlas, that was announced all the way back at Nintendo Direct in early 2013, so just about 2 years ago. But since then, we haven't really saw anything, on this game. It's like for a lot of people were thinking, oh, maybe it was canceled, but oh no, it can't be canceled because we haven't heard anything. They would have let us know if it was canceled. That kind of thing. I always thought it was going to eventually come. It was probably just them, working on the game and whatnot. But then we get to this new trailer that comes out, and I'm sure most people have seen it, so that's the reason. I'm sure most of you will probably know what I'm talking about when I refer to what I'm saying in this video. There were a lot. What they shown was, and I'm not gonna. And I'm basically right now relating it to what other people say. I'm not relating it to myself yet. I'll bring myself into the whole entire situation after I say this. But a lot of people I see on YouTube were confused by it. They were like, "Oh, is this the game? Is this the Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem?" And then a lot of people put it off. A lot of people said, "No, this seems like something different." And then a lot of these people were shocked when it actually was revealed to be that game because of what the game looks like. Basically, and I would probably have fallen into this category too. The way that they showed it off at the beginning, it makes you think it's going to just be a simple crossover with the Fire Emblem characters and the Shin Megami Tensei characters, and they're going to cross over and do like a crossover type game. Think like Project Cross Zone, but just specifically Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. That's basically what it was thought, people were thinking it was going to be, because the little teaser, like 5-second, 10-second, basically, that they showed back off in 2013, that little small teaser trailer that they said they were working on it and said coming soon. Oh, I'm going to say coming soon, but more info soon or something like that. Like they were just had the idea, they didn't really start working on it yet. And a lot of people were confused because of, they were calling it, like Shokyo, like they were calling it too weeaboo-ish. They were talking about it being so anime-ish, a lot more Persona / Shin Megami Tensei than Fire Emblem. A lot of the characters aren't recognizable. It just feels like they took concepts from it and basically threw it into one big game that's the crossover. Instead of crossing over the worlds, crossing over concepts, like people were saying. I think Game Explain said that, or someone said that, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but there's been a lot of, I'm not going to say controversy is full on controversy, but I'm putting in quotations here, that a lot of people were just confused when they showed this trailer off. And here's the thing. I could actually see why. And this is, I think, what it was, in my opinion. I think it was that initial trailer we were shown off. It was the initial trailer we were shown off with I wouldn't say legit trailer, the teaser trailer, showing the characters in their actual art style, showing the characters from the actual games. I think that's what threw a lot of people off, because it gave them a false image of what the game was going to be about, even though we technically did not know what the game was going. We were not told, we were not shown, we were just given a concept, a little teaser trailer showing the characters. And I think that's what threw a lot of people up. I think some people are going overboard a little bit, basically saying what the game looks like and about the concept is going in. But the thing I can say is I actually can see where they're coming from, because This was 2 years ago. In those entire 2 years, we've seen nothing besides that original teaser trailer, and a lot of people were just assuming it was going to be just a simple crossover character with games, like, between the franchises and the characters, and then meeting each other and their worlds crossing. I don't put anyone down for thinking this way, because we were kind of given that false image from not being shown that, and that little initial showing we did get to see of it was very, very minimalistic and gave us, like, a false image. And my thoughts on the matter, like, before I go any further, like, I'm going to say it now, like, I actually thought the trailer looked pretty interesting and the game looks kind of cool. It feels different. It feels more original than what it would have been if it was a simple crossover, because we've seen a ton of those. If it was just a crossover, oh, Shin Megami Tensei guys got transported into the past to one of the Fire Emblem world, or the Fire Emblem people got sent to the future, the current day Japan or whatever, or, current day world in general, not just Japan, or, their worlds just crossed over and they kept time traveling back and forth between worlds, that would have been cool. But that's kind of basic and it's kind of cliche, and it's not as original as what they basically did. What they basically did was take the concepts and they still took the characters, because a lot of people couldn't really see it, but a lot of the characters they showed were, I'm assuming, based off of Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei people. There was a guy that clearly looked kind of like Marth. I think a Lin looked like almost a Tiki. The red-haired guy, I'm not fully sure. I think it was probably like Roy or Eli Wood, but it could have been someone else. Like, I'm not entirely, familiar with all the redhead characters we have in Fire Emblem, and stuff like that. Like, and Sheeta, I think, was the black-haired lady, the black-haired girl. I'm thinking that's what I like, where I see people referencing her. But, like, they look like the characters. There are the characters in this world, but this world is crossed over. So I'm thinking we're still going to see a crossover. We're still going to see the Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem characters meeting each other, but they all live in the same world. Like, think, like, what's his name, or what's his name, the guy from Persona 4. What if he's a classmate of this Marth guy? Like, what if they live in the world, but they're just all part of one world, rather than, oh, we're two different worlds transporting to each other. That's my thoughts. And, I can at least see where they're coming from. They're trying to be doing something different, and they're trying to make something more original, which this actually is. And I can see now that, people are thrown off by it because they didn't expect this, and maybe there's people that wanted to play it because of the Fire Emblem aspect, but got a little too much, Shin Megami Tensei Persona, but the Shin Megami Persona people probably won't be nearly as put off with this game than the Fire Emblem people would. I've played more Fire Emblem than I've played Shin Megami Tensei Persona. I've only played a little bit of Shin Megami Tensei Persona, but I do like the concepts, characters, worlds that those series bring in. So it's not really off-putting to me, especially because I'm a big anime fan, and I'm like, video game fan that's very Japanese. I like RPGs and whatnot, fighting games. I like a lot of Japanese games and franchises, so it's not really as off-putting to me as someone that probably is not big on that stuff. So, that's my opinion. I mean, I can see where people are coming from, but I can understand. I understand where people are coming from, but I think a lot of people are judging it a little too soon, because that was just the original initial trailer. It was more showing off, like, cutscenes and stuff, throwing stuff together. We haven't seen full-on legit gameplay, that we can actually understand what's going on, because a lot of stuff in that trailer, I just didn't know what was going on. I don't think a lot of people were either, but it was the first trailer, so we're not really supposed to. That's really about it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it looks kind of interesting. And I'm thinking the reason we did not see this at all for 2 years is I think the game originally was supposed to be just a simple crossover with characters. But I think they probably wanted to change it halfway through, and they probably had to start over, so that's the reason why we didn't see anything until now, 2 years later. We probably would have saw something a lot earlier if it was set to be simple crossover with the characters meeting and working together, and worlds and whatnot, which I think that's originally the thing they were going for, because, and that they probably stopped in the middle of development and started over, so they probably started completely over. That's what I'm thinking. Or it's just that they worked really hard on trying to come up with what can we do that's actually going to make it something interesting. So basically they probably took a long time to decide like what they wanted to legitimately do. But that's really about it. That's basically my thoughts on this people, I just want to give my quick thoughts, even though it's about 10 minutes now, on the new Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem reveal trailer that we saw at this just recent Nintendo Direct on April 1st. What you guys think? What do you guys think in the comment section? I'd like to have a discussion. And my name is Nicholas Bun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. See you later. Have a nice day. See ya.